I was late diagnosed with autism this year at 27, and I have spoken in a previous video, which I will link, about the missing signs or signs I had that were missed. But one of the big reasons why I personally didn't go ahead with getting an autism diagnosis, even when it was offered to me by doctors and psychiatrists, was because I believed for a long time, incorrectly and ignorantly, that people with autism did not have empathy. And because of the way that I experienced empathy, I believed that it was impossible. Now, that isn't true. People with autism do experience empathy. A lot of us experience it differently, but we do experience it. And I think that because of how it is portrayed in the media, and also how some professionals and other people still see autism, this is something that can be missed. I'm going to explain how I experience empathy with autism, and it might help some people who might be struggling with an understanding of whether or not that they are autistic. From a young age, I have experienced emotions very strongly, but I have always struggled to maybe control my emotions when I was younger, and it would lead to a lot of meltdowns, screams, crying on the floor, banging doors, screaming into pillows, because I just couldn't understand my emotions and I didn't know how to process my emotions. I still struggle to process emotions. I think back to when my nan died when I was 6 years old, and I said, I won't cry, I know that would be silly, and I didn't cry. I was more than unbelievably heartbroken at my granddad's funeral, and I can get upset now, but in the moment at the funeral I couldn't cry. I can't cry in situations where you're supposed to, and that might sound like a lack of empathy, but it's more an issue with showing emotion and the pressure of emotion, and just the idea that you're supposed to cry somehow prevents me from being upset. And it doesn't mean that I don't feel upset or that I won't be upset alone, but one of the things that I really struggle with is truly crying in front of people, especially in situations where other people might cry. I used to find it extremely uncomfortable in school when we would be watching sensitive videos and topics showing emotion, because I was worried about what I was showing. I didn't want to cry in front of people. I didn't want to look sad. I didn't want to look teary. I didn't want to look scared. I didn't want to look uncomfortable. I would overanalyze so much how I was going to look instead of just concentrating. Not even how I would look. It's difficult to explain, but I was trying to analyze my own emotions in that moment, preventing me from actually expressing any. That might sound strange to other people, but that is how I felt. I've always had a very strong moral compass in terms of, I have spoken on another video about becoming a vegetarian when I was 8 years old. No one in my family's vegetarian. I didn't know any vegetarians, and I made that decision, and I've been a vegetarian since. I struggle deeply to understand people who hate for no reason, who are racist, homophobic, mean, bullies, people who can't understand poverty, the climate crisis, the economic divide, wars in other countries, that people are people. It all comes down to, I believe that people are people. Some people are born into awful situations and do bad things. Some people are born in other countries that have nothing, and their governments don't take care of them, and people in power don't take care of them. We are lucky to be born where we are born. Well, at least I am. I am lucky enough to be able to love someone without hate given towards me. I'm lucky enough to have been born in a body that I identify with. I am lucky enough to have a roof over my head. I have been through awful things in my life, but I still understand that I am lucky for so much. I don't understand the people that can't understand that, but I can't understand it to the point that it causes me severe distress. When I see comments on, well, I don't go on X anymore for this reason, but when I see comments on posts that are just pointless bullying or completely missing the point or are derogatory, are sexist, are, and it stresses me out, and people will say, well, that's their opinion, just ignore it, and I don't really argue back, but I think about it and I go to sleep. I think about it deeply, and then I feel the emotions of the people that they're saying it about and saying it to. And I know there's a lot online of virtue signalling, and I think that this could be misrepresented as that, but I am just trying to explain how my empathy works. And it's the same in terms of other people. If they are sad around me, I sense that, I can feel that they are sad, because I notice the little changes in the way they speak, in their tone, in their mannerisms. I pick up on so many small, minute differences in somebody that I know if they are sad, if they are angry, if they are feeling disappointed, if they are uncomfortable. And that is something that can be very distressing. A lot of the time people will tend to just say they're fine, you don't push, but I feel it. If somebody's not in the mood when we are out, I will not be in the mood. I can't enjoy myself, and this can anger people, and they will often say, just enjoy yourself. Why does it matter if I'm in a mood? Just enjoy yourself. Or why does it matter that I'm upset about this? It doesn't affect you. Or it's not that, it's how someone else is feeling. Or if I see something bad that's happened to someone, like they've lost a loved one, or they've been abused, or they've lost a pet, or a pet's been hurt, it hurts. It is a deep pain that is difficult to explain and is uncontrollable, and that I struggle to articulate or to process. And I also understand that it's not my emotion to feel, and I am not trying to take that person's pain and make it about myself. So this is not something that I would tell that person, but it is things that I deal with every day. And I think because I thought that people didn't feel empathy if they were autistic, I thought I couldn't possibly be. But then I also didn't realise that other people didn't feel this way. And it's when you get older that you realise that someone's bad day doesn't affect everybody. There are people out there that can be around someone who's having a bad day and their day is not impacted, or they can see bad things on the news or things that are going on and it not put them into depression or stress or overload or burnout. So I wanted to make this video just to try and explain to people who might be struggling and think that they can't be autistic either, or who does struggle with empathy in the same way that I do, to show them that they're not alone, but also to try and show other people how people struggle differently, people experience things differently, people feel things differently, and to just have a bit more understanding, bit of education. So that is everything for now, but please do let me know about any topics you would like me to discuss further down below. I have, like you probably know, been diagnosed with many mental illnesses. I deal with chronic and mental illnesses and difficulties, and I am trying to break down the barrier of taboo topics. So anything that you would like, please let me know. Write a comment down below if you have felt like you experienced the same thing, or you have a bit more of an understanding. Then give it a like, give it a comment. Please do subscribe, it really does help the channel. But that is everything for now. So wherever that you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, day or night, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.